Hello, everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Getting Results in Business series. We're just beginning our new unit on working with employees. And in this unit, we will work on vocabulary by discussing employee related issues like how to retain staff, how to avoid turnover, and that kind of thing. Well, more about the class in just a minute. First, a little bit about me. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, here are 3 quick rules to help you participate. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up. That means when you're not speaking, turn off your microphone so we can keep the classroom quiet. When you are speaking, tune in to the new words that you're learning. Use them actively so that I can correct you. Finally, open up to your classmates. Relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. And this, on the screen, is the material that we're going to use. I'll also put it in the chat window for you. Second. There we go. And I'm going to be taking some notes as well. Oh, you know what? That looks like it didn't work very well. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can copy the link better. It looks like it didn't work. You know what? I'm having trouble opening that link, just tell me, but I can't seem to copy and paste it for some reason. I don't know why. Let me see if I can do it. Nope, I can't. I don't know why. Hold on. There's a problem in the URL. Oh, I see what the problem is. There's a space. That's what it is. Nope, still not working. All right, I don't know what's going on with the unit, but I'll tell you what. I'm going to go into my Google Drive and give you a better link because for some reason it's not working. So I'll do that in just a minute. Okay, just to get started, welcome back, Daniel, and welcome back, Alejandro. Nice to see you.
Hi, John. How are you?
Good, good. And let's say hello to Rebecca, who's just joining us now. How are you, Rebecca?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Very good. I'm very good. Where are you from, Rebecca?
From Spain, but right now I'm living in the UK.
Ah, very good. Very good. Are you there for work or are you studying?
I'm studying English. I've been here for almost 7 months, and I'll be, I think, 4 more.
Okay, very good. Sounds like a good experience. All right, and
Yes.
let's say hello. Good, good. Let's say hello to Alexander as well. Hello, Alexander. Welcome back.
Hi.
There
I am from Moscow. I am a student. I study at the Economic Academy.
Ah, okay. Very good.
I have been learning English for 1 year.
For 1 year. Okay. Well, we're going to learn business vocabulary today. Vocabulary for working with employees. In fact, we've already started. This is the second class. But today is the class where we're going to learn the most vocabulary. Yesterday was a discussion. Okay? If you give me just a second, I'm going to give you a better link to that material. Give me just a moment here because my link seems to be broken. You can see the material on the screen, but I want to give you a copy for you to download as well. So hang on just a second. I'm going into Google Drive. Let me go to my materials. Getting results in business. Level B2, almost there. Employees, yeah, this is it. Okay, working with employees. almost there. Well, anyway, it's loading. So when it gets loaded, I'll put the link for you, and then you can have a copy of this. For some reason, I copied and pasted it, and the link keeps getting broken. I don't know what's going on. So I'll give that to you in just a second.
Maybe try the other chat, the Hangouts chat.
I will in just a minute. I'm just waiting for it to. Oh, here it is. I got it now. Okay. Let's see if I can get the link to this. 1 second. Give me just a second here. It's not going to give me a link, will it? No. Okay. I love Google. Makes so much sense. All right. Oh, did I get it? Yeah, I did. Okay, good. I got it now.
I could open. Okay, I'll paste the link.
Well, I pasted the link, but it didn't work for me. Here you go.
No, I think so, yeah. No.
This link works.
Okay, good. All right. So let's get started. In yesterday's class, oh, I need to open the notes quickly as well. Almost forgot. So in yesterday's class, we had a discussion, and we worked on vocabulary. And I want to just remind you of some of the great vocabulary that we talked about yesterday, because it was actually very good. So I'm opening that as well. But basically what we did yesterday is we looked at the picture, we asked simple questions using keywords like who, when, what, where, how, and why to pick out details from the picture and to guess about what we were seeing. And in doing so, we ended up talking about working with employees. Then we moved on. I'll give you the vocabulary in a second, but then we moved on here, 1 second, to these two questions. Why did people change jobs or careers? And what would encourage you to stay in a particular job or career? And the vocabulary that we saw yesterday, well, my notes are still not open. Hold on. I'll get back to the vocabulary because it's still not open.
What means what encourage?
What mean? What does? Encourage.
Encourage, yes.
First, repeat after me. What does encourage mean?
Encourage is...
Wait, Alexander. First repeat. What does encourage mean?
Encourage...
mean.
Mean.
Right? Because that's the right form of the question. And I'll write it for you in the chat window. What does X, Y, or Z mean? Like that in the chat window. What does encourage mean? Rather than tell you, I'd like someone to give me a definition or an example. How would you explain encourage, class?
Encourage is when people give advice and making him cheer.
Making him? Making someone.
Give someone courage
and
confidence.
Okay, so giving someone
with kind words.
Courage or confidence. Okay.
I understand. Thank you.
There you go, Yuki. Super teacher.
You are welcome.
All right. And look, some of the vocabulary from yesterday, I got my document up finally, is right. Oh, it's so slow. Give me a second. Here. Can you see this on screen now?
Encourage is support, yes?
Support, right.
Support, yeah.
Right. More than support. It's support, but it's really to push a person to do better. You're encouraging them with kind words, and that pushes them to do more than they normally would. Right?
Or help.
Yeah, help out, support.
In Russian, ободрять.
In Russian, ободрять. Okay. Here's some words from yesterday. Better. What are some things that might encourage you? Getting better opportunities, getting a better position, a better living standard, getting a higher salary. These are things we mentioned yesterday. A better work-life balance, having better benefits, having more engaging work. That means more interesting. Having stability. That means you know you can trust your job. It will last for a long time. Being on contract. That means that you're part of the company. Not being a freelancer. Freelancer means you don't have a contract. And then we talked about some other aspects like a good package of benefits or working in a good location, maybe close to your house. All of this is great vocabulary, and you can always find it in our notes, and I'll put the link to the notes in the chat window as well. Okay? You have the link there now.
Okay.
That's on page 6. Who is that? Rebecca?
Yes, I yesterday I didn't attend the vocabulary.
Okay. So if you want to see the vocabulary from yesterday, just click on the link in the chat window that I just put now and go to page 6, and I'm going to be adding to it today. All right?
Yeah.
So
okay, thank you.
Now that we did a little review, let's learn some English. In the next section, working with words, we will work with lots of vocabulary. Yesterday, we ended the class with this activity. I had you read one of these 3 short monologues. So, it asks you to listen to 3 people talking about their experience of changing their careers and answer these questions. What was their job? What reasons do they give for changing? How did they get a new job? And what other options could they have considered? So the first thing we're going to do is listen to all 3, and then we're going to pick out some key vocabulary to help you. We're going to listen, answer the questions, and then we'll go back and read it and get some key vocabulary. Okay? So everyone, listen first, and if there's any difficulty, sorry, I just need to mute you for a second. I don't know where the noise is coming from, but let me just mute you, Rebecca, because I think the noise is from you. When you're ready to talk, you can turn your microphone back on, okay? No problem.
Okay.
All right? Okay, so here we go. I want you to listen carefully for the first time, and then remember, if there's any difficulty, you can always go to page, I'll tell you the page in a second. You can always go to page 14 if you want to read, but I'd prefer that you just listen the first time, okay? So here we go. Tyler says, I left school at 16 with no qualifications, so my career prospects were not good. But I got a job at the local automobile factory working shifts on a production line. The work was kind of monotonous, but I had job security and the money was good. I'd worked there for almost 30 years when I was made redundant. Made redundant. We talked about that yesterday. The company got taken over, and just like that, they decided to downsize and shut the factory down. You can imagine, in a small town like ours, when you get that many men laid off all at once because there's no work for them, there's no chance of finding another job. I'd lived there all my life, so relocation to a new place was not an option. I had some redundancy money, and I went for retraining. First on a short computer course to update my skills and increase my employability. Then a 2-year course in programming. And because of my background, I ended up as an IT consultant to a manufacturing company. So it was a complete career change, but I don't regret it. It was a whole lot better than being unemployed and having no job to go to or taking early retirement. That was Tyler speaking. And I know that we talked about this yesterday, but just as a review, let's just clarify what was Tyler's job before and what is his job now?
Before he was a factory worker.
And now?
Now he is IT consultant. He ended up
Exactly.
as IT consultant.
Okay, very good, very good.
Manufacturing company.
All right. And what reasons did he give for changing his job? Everyone who's listening?
Because factory has closed.
All right.
And he was fired.
Is Yuki the only one listening? Only Yuki speaking in this class? Come on.
Sorry. Go ahead,
Come on,
class.
guys. No one else was listening?
I heard that he retraining by computer.
Exactly. Good. Retraining. Very good.
And he took the ability, the skills for the IT computer. So he had the opportunity to change his career.
Fantastic. That's it. So that was the answer to question C. How did he go about getting a new job? He got retraining. He had the opportunity to change careers. Very good. Let's see if we can get another voice in here, just besides Paolo and Yuki. One more voice here for question D. What other options could he have considered? Think about the last thing he said. Carlos, Daniel?
He considered the early retirement.
Fantastic. It's true. He considered early retirement. How do you say retirement in Spanish, Alejandro?
It's when you have to retire before
How do you
the
translate in Spanish,
In
retirement?
Spanish.
65.
Jubilarse.
Say again?
Jubilarse. Jubilación.
Jubilarse?
Jubilación anticipada.
Jubilación.
Okay. Wow, it's different than Portuguese. Okay. Fantastic. So listen. Remember, if you're having trouble with listening, you can just go to page 14 and follow along. I'm now going to read Fabia and Carlo together, and we're going to answer those questions about them. Then we're going to pick out some key vocabulary. So listen to both of these back to back now. Here we go.
John,
Yes.
I'm lost and I don't know where I can read the test.
If you want to read, just click.
Watch it.
So if you want to copy, just go to either class material or or click the link in the window and you can open it. And the link in the window is there in the internal chat and in the Verbling chat.
I clicked in the chart and now there's a huge material, but I'm not sure where exactly is it.
Oh wait, there's actually two links. Give me a second here.
Can you
Which one is?
use my link?
Use Yuki's link.
It's a direct link to the text which our teacher read.
Okay. No, yes, I did that.
Okay.
Now I can watch it. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, fantastic. Very good. Okay, so if you want to read along, go to page 14. But if possible, try to just use your ears for this, okay? Give it a try. Here we go. Here's Fabia and Carl, sorry. Fabia says, I worked for a multinational insurance company in Lausanne for 6 or 7 years. The salary was good, but there wasn't a lot of opportunity for advancement. I was beginning to feel dissatisfied, and I didn't feel particularly valued by the management. I felt expendable, like a commodity. I was working really long hours for very little recognition. I could have made a sideways move, I suppose, but I decided to opt for self-employment. We moved to Geneva, where I set up my own recruitment companies, and I've come to understand why people really want to change jobs. And it's hardly ever about money. Usually it's for personal reasons, like my own experience. A lot of my clients have some sort of issue with their boss, see them as incompetent maybe. Sometimes we have very successful women who feel there's a glass ceiling where they work, and they know they can only get on if they move elsewhere. For others, it's about growth opportunities. They're looking for training and personal development, but it's just not an offer on offer in their company. So that's Fabia talking about her career change. And now here's the last one, Carl, talking about his career change.
Yeah.
Carl,
She talked that in her
hang on just 1 second. Wait. Let me read Carl
Only,
first.
sorry, Alexandru and Rebecca, can you mute your microphone? I can't hear teacher's voice. I
Okay.
hear from you noises. So
I'll do it.
I'm
I'll do
sorry.
it. Okay. So Rebecca, yeah, I'm just going to mute your microphone there,
Alexander,
Alexander. And when we're
Yes,
ready
thank
to
you.
talk,
Thank you very much.
we'll put the microphone back on. Okay, last one, and then we'll talk about these. Last one. Carl says, I worked for Ericsson in Sweden until a couple of years ago. I was production manager and I was a bit restless. I had a good standard of living. My youngest child had just gone to university, and I suppose I was looking for a challenge, a change of direction. And to be honest, I didn't feel particularly comfortable with the corporate culture anymore. I was getting frustrated by too many rules and red tape. I was considering applying for a temporary secondment to a production plant in the UK when I came across a charity who were looking for an administrator to work in a specialist hospital in Addis Ababa. Oh my God. Forget about the place. Don't worry about that. In Ethiopia. I can't say it very well. And I suddenly realized that what I was looking for was a complete career change. So I discussed it with the family. I got the job, and I've been there ever since. I actually found that a lot of the skills I had were transferable skills, like the leadership and planning that I learned. I don't regret it at all. Of course, there are a few things I miss, and my salary is much lower, but personally, I feel much happier. It's very challenging here, and my quality of life is much better. All right, that was Fabia and Carla. I keep saying Carla. It's not Carla. It's Carl. Sorry. So, class. What was their job then, and what's their job now?
in Fabia. About Fabia.
For both, yeah. For
Fabia, she said that his salary was good in her first job, in his first job, but she's looking for another that was more engaging work.
That's true, but what is her new job? Did you catch that?
You can know. I don't remember.
Does anyone catch it? What was her new job?
He's a self-employed person.
Exactly. She's self-employed, and her job is a recruitment agent for other companies to get workers and to get staff. She's self-employed as a recruiter. Okay? And what about Carl? What did he do, and what is he doing?
And at the first job, he was a production manager and have a good life level, but he wants
Not
to
life level. Let's call that living standard instead. Living standard. Good, good.
And when he changed in the new job, his salary was much lower, but it was most gratified.
He was more satisfied, maybe?
Yeah.
Satisfied, rather than, gratified is a little strong. Satisfied.
Okay.
Satisfied. Okay, very good. He used to work as a production manager for Ericsson. For those of you who remember, they used to make mobile phones. And now he's working as what?
He's working as a charity volunteer, maybe. I don't know. In the hospital.
Right.
Administrator, sorry.
Exactly. So now he's working for a charity and he's a hospital administrator. So less money, but he's more satisfied because I guess it's more challenging and he has an even better standard of living than before. Less money, but his living standard went up because Ethiopia is probably cheaper than where he was living. All right. What do you think each speaker has learned from their experience? This is an opinion question. No right or wrong, but I do want you to try to base your ideas on what you heard. What do you think that they've learned? Now, you can talk about Tyler, Fabia, or Carl, or you can talk about all of them in general. What lessons do you think that they've learned?
I think all people in this specific told us that all people had encouraged and had courage to change their lives and to looking for the new opportunities, and they don't regret about their choices, and they looking for a better quality of life, better happiness, and they encounter their happiness in their careers.
So, with some courage, you might really be successful. In other words, if you have the courage to change, you might get what you want. In other words, they lost nothing by taking a risk. In fact, they all gained. Right? That's the idea, Paulo?
Yes, I agree with you.
Okay.
I think when we have courage and all experiences value, nonetheless we lost something, but we gain other thing in change the situation.
Fantastic, very good. And Yuki, you were saying something too.
Common thing among all workers here was firstly they have a job, quite a stable job. They have and salary is not so bad, and they have worked there for some extent for a long time, quite. And after that, something happened. Someone has been fired. Someone find what he wanted to do, work, and it turned out he's changing his job, and
Fabio is a she.
He or she.
Right.
He or she changed her job.
Their job, right?
And in the end, it's kind of happy end. They are complaining. They are
complaining?
Yeah, no,
not at all. Quite the opposite.
Opposite.
Yeah. What's the opposite of a complaint?
I can't remember.
I don't know either. Opposite of complaint is saying something good. They're not complaining at all. So they're quite happy, and
yes.
maybe as Paulo said,
they are satisfied.
Satisfied.
Yes. New work gives them a feeling of satisfaction. So.
Okay, good.
All was good.
So far, all is good. Now, we're going to look at that more closely in a moment because we want to find some key vocabulary. So here, in part 2, find these pairs of phrases in the audio script on page 14. Forget about the next slide. It's on page 14. Explain the difference in meaning between the pairs. So you can go back to the text for this, but what I've given you is two that are slightly different. Like, let's do the first one together. Taking early retirement, being made redundant. Okay? First of all, let's actually find it in the text so we can do this the right way. And you can see in Tyler's text on page 14, made redundant is in bold, and it's right here. Give me a second, I'll put a little arrow next to it. And taking early retirement is down at the bottom here. So you can see those red arrows where it is. All right? So let's go back and see if we can explain it based on the text. In the text it says, so explain the difference between taking early retirement and being made redundant. Okay? Let's try this as a class. What is the difference?
Okay, taking early retirement is when you, before you fulfill the legal age of the retirement, you on your own, from your own point of view, take the decision of not to work anymore.
Right. So you decide to stop working before the legal age. Okay, very good. And so let's compare that to being made redundant. Let's compare the two.
Make redundant means you are fired, so contrary to your expectation, you lose a job. So
right. So it's not your decision.
Unexpectedly.
Right. It's not your decision. Okay? So I'm going to put a little VS for versus, like this, on the screen, to say that the first one is you decide, and the second one, it's not your decision. You haven't done anything wrong, right? Being made redundant doesn't mean you've done something wrong, but it does mean that you have to stop working. Okay, very good. So what I'd like you to do is to go through the text and look at some other examples. So Alejandro, you're going to take number 2, temporary secondment and relocation. Daniel, I'd like you to take number 3, being unemployed, laid off. Carlos, I'd like you to take number 4. Paulo, I'd like you to take number 5. Rebecca, 6. Yuki, 7. And Alexander, if you're staying, you can do number 8. And if not, I'll do it, okay? So I want you to actually go to 14, see if you can find the difference, or just be able to explain the difference based on what you heard. All right? How much time do you think you'll need? Are you ready to go, or do you need a little time to think?
I'm ready.
You go. Okay. So you go first. I think Carlos, that was you, and then Yuki, you go second. I think I heard Carlos first, right?
I do the second. Number 2. No.
Carlos, you are doing number 4, right?
Okay.
Okay.
I go ahead?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. A sideways move is when in the same department, maybe the boss of you change in the same department.
Mm-hmm.
And a change of direction is when department change the goals to obtain. No.
Okay, so a sideways move, you're staying in the department, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
All right, let's be clear about this. There's many departments in a company. If you go sideways, you could change the department, but you won't change the company. So it means that it's an internal change.
You move into the company, no?
Right. internal, but not to another company. A change of direction, on the other hand, has nothing to do with the direction of the company. It's not about the director. It's about you.
You change the company to change your direction and experience, no?
Exactly.
Okay.
Change companies or do something with a totally new experience. That's it. That's it. So here, direction has nothing to do with the director. It's all about you. Okay, that's not bad. So sideways move internal, change the direction, probably external to the company. Okay, Yuki, want to try yours?
Yes. Corporate. Number 7. Yeah.
Yep.
Corporate culture means the philosophy of this company, values, style. For example, if Apple, I think corporate culture of the Apple is freedom, maybe innovation,
okay.
And other ones maybe they even allow workers to be gay.
Well, now they can because their boss is gay. So yes.
Recently CEO announced that he is proud of being gay. So it's a corporate culture.
Open. We could say it's an open corporate culture. Very open.
It's a policy, kind of culture. Red tape is rules, and red tape has a little for the a little negative meanings. Have a little negative meaning. I think, especially red tape. Red tape is the rules of company. You don't have you should do something. You shouldn't do something. It prevent workers from being done something wrong for the company, and breaking the law would be strictly punished, maybe.
So, okay. And red tape also could mean bureaucracy.
Yes, it's bureaucracy. Yes.
Right. Lots of paperwork, lots of checks, and people have to sign everything. Okay, very good. So corporate culture is
coming from Soviet Union, maybe. Soviet Union has a red color. No, it's a bureaucracy.
Don't think it has anything to do with Soviet Union because we got plenty of red tape in America too. But you're right, bureaucracy. So one is kind of a cultural policy, like for example, equal rights for same-sex partners. Like Apple probably is going to have that because now the CEO is open. So I imagine that the workers, even if the local country doesn't have recognized gay marriage or whatever, I would imagine Apple would now recognize equal rights for same-sex partners. So this example of one kind of culture, rules and red tape, bureaucracy. All right? Who's next? Who's next? Alejandro, you want to try?
For example. So the first word, the first sentence is temporary secondment.
Right.
It means when you attempt to search for a job in another country different from the country you are currently living.
Good.
And it's for a temporary duration.
Good. So it's a temporary transfer or whatever. Okay, good. And relocation?
On the other hand, relocation is when you stay at the same company, but for a temporary duration, you are redirected to another country, but staying at the same company.
Well, hang on a second. Is relocation temporary or permanent?
Permanent, I'm sorry.
Permanent, right. So temporary secondment is relocating temporarily. Relocation is permanent. Relocating to a new place permanently. Probably another country. right? Relocation tends to be something big. Otherwise, we just say he moved, right? That would be like more local. Okay, very good, Alejandro. I agree completely. Daniel, want to try yours? Daniel, are you there? Hello, Daniel? Oh, I don't hear Daniel. Who's next? Rebecca, what was yours? I think you were doing 6, right?
6, yes. Okay, I think a glass ceiling means when everyone in your company or in your place of job ignores you.
Okay, okay. And what does that, think about this. It was a woman speaking. What was the woman worried about with the glass ceiling? What did she feel was the problem? Do you remember?
Are you talking about the text?
Yeah. What did Fabia, what was she worried about? What did she feel she couldn't get because of the glass ceiling? Do you remember?
When I'm not sure. When a woman thinks everyone doesn't recognize her job.
Or recognize her talent, right?
Her talent,
in other words, yeah, exactly. So the glass ceiling is a wall that is transparent. In other words, not everyone can see it, but you find out when you run into it. You hit it face first, and you realize, oh, I can't go any further. People don't recognize my talent or my ability, particularly with women in the workplace. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
How is that different than opportunity for advancement then?
So, opportunity for advancement is when you can move up quickly because people in your company or in your place of job think you are good at doing your job. Very good at doing your job.
That's it. So glass ceiling, you're not recognized. Opportunity for advancement, you are recognized. They're basically the opposites. Okay, very good, very good.
John,
Paulo, which one was? Oh, go ahead. Yes.
One question. A glass ceiling is the opposite from acknowledgement?
Basically, yes. Yeah. Basically, it's the opposite. It means that there's a limit, but it's not an obvious limit. You find out when you hit it. You're running and boom, right into the glass. Then you find out that there's a limit. You're not acknowledged. Your talent isn't acknowledged, and you can't move forward. No promotion.
Perfect, understood.
Okay, very good. Paulo, which one was yours? Were you doing 5?
Number 5. Okay.
I think that was you, right?
Okay, thank you. Transferable skills, update my skills. Well, my graduate is in psychology, and psychology has a lot of specific ways to work with, like clinical with personal life and education, schools, and in the industry. I begin my...
Well, hang on, let me just interrupt you for 1 second. So we're defining the difference between transferable skills and updating your skills, right? I just want to make sure that you're answering the question. So you can talk about psychology, it's fine, but what are transferable skills? What do we mean by that? Oh,
but
okay.
I said this because in psychology it's possible to use transferable skills in one field to another field. Like
okay, good. Like what?
In psychology, we've been training to attend personal people, and this kind of training is possible to transferable their skills to industries, like training
okay.
how we can we can attend the client, physical client, personal client. We can attend the executive, corporate, and employees in the industry. So it's possible to transfer our skills to one field and another field, and clinical and industry and schools too.
Okay,
And
very good. Just one quick point, Paulo. One quick point. Transferable in Portuguese is, how do you say transferable in Portuguese?
Transferência.
No. That's the problem. Because when you say able, right? Like provável, probable. So transferable would be what? Transferível? Exactly. So be careful because it's an adjective here. It's not a verb. So you have transferable skills. Not because the verb would be to transfer skills. So just be careful how you're using it. So we can have transferable skills like how you attend a patient can be similar to how you might attend or how you might deal with a CEO as a transferable skill, like you mentioned. Okay, very good. And what about updating your skills? According to what you heard, what does that mean?
Well, I think that all people that I heard that you said, looking for update their skills and looking for new training, new opportunities, and trying to know about new techniques and to take other course, to make other training, and like all people can looking for and trying at university or the training in specific skills in industry or schools or.
That's it. Yeah. So basically, it's new training, learning something new, right? Updating your skills. That's it. Fantastic.
Like we doing in this class.
I hope so. I hope we are.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, very good, very good. So let's see if Alexander has his connection working now. Alexander, are you there?
Hi, I'm here.
Hi. Okay, very good. So Alexander, we've still got 1, 2, 3. We got 3 left out of 8. So based on what you were listening to, could you explain the difference between the pair in number 1, 3, or 8? I would like you to choose one and see if you can tell me the difference between the word pairs. So choose whichever one is easiest for you, 1, 3, or 8.
1, 3, or 8. 1 minute, please.
Sure. Like for example, look at
personal development.
Okay.
Or training.
Okay, good. What's the difference?
Personal development is career. Yes.
Personal development is say again. Career.
Yeah.
Career. Okay. Good.
Training is experience.
Training is experience.
It means to gain experience.
Well, hang on a second. Personal development means it could be career, but it could also be something outside of your career because it's personal. And training is probably something, could be personal too, but probably we get corporate training in the job, right? So can you think of an example of personal development? What could you learn in a personal development learning that would be different than training? Or think of an example for training. What training might you get on the job so we can make it more clear?
If person wants to gain personal development.
Sure. Yeah.
He will have to work
doing
a
what?
lot. A lot.
Doing what? For example, doing what?
Example.
Yeah. What's an example?
Example from my life. Yeah.
If you like.
Example.
Well, let's get some opinions about this so that it's really clear. Can anyone think of an example of personal development that you might get that's different from training?
It's a spiritual belief.
Spiritual beliefs, like what? Personal development, like what? Like going to an ashram or something?
It sounds a little far, but every experience to to develop yourself, to think about yourself deeply. It include in the personal development.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I agree. So,
Yeah.
for example,
So even spiritual experience might become a personal development.
Could be. In the context of work, though, maybe attending a conference for your industry. So it's not really training, but it's there for you to be better in some way. But you know what? It could also be training in public speaking, right?
I understand. I must explain the difference, yeah?
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
The difference.
Personal development is not itself project, no, is but your own project. Maybe, and training is for the company. If you need to learn something that the company needs,
Exactly.
Training it, no.
Exactly. Right? I think that's a very good definition. Training is really essential to your job, and it's done by the company, probably. Personal development can help you at work, but it's something you choose to do. Like you choose. Absolutely. Whether it's something spiritual, or something business related, or something communication related. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Now that we know some differences between these two things, I'd like to take a step back. And at the bottom of this page, we had an interesting question. I'd like to try it out. It says, tell a partner, well, that's one of us in the class, about a job change you've made. Why did you make it? How did you go about it? In order to talk about that, you're going to try to use one or more of these expressions that you see on page 8. Okay? So the question is, can you tell us about a job change you made and why you made it, how you went about it, and in doing so, see if you can use some of this vocabulary to talk about it. Okay? So, I can give you an example if you like, or if you feel comfortable, you can just go ahead and talk about an example from your experience. So what do you want? An example, or do you have an example for us? Say again? I didn't hear.
I can tell an example from my life.
Fantastic. Try to use some of those key vocabulary words. Let's say no less than 2 of those key vocabulary words. Try to use them proactively. Go for it, Paulo. Tell us about your change.
Well, I beginning my career with the research, market research, because in Brazil, a long time ago, it was very growing market, and I use my skills in psychology to study the behavior of human behavior, and I was a lot in the research market during 10 years. And during this time, I looking for to study other skills, to learn other skills, and I studied the coaching and clinical psychology. And during this time, I graduated. I changed my career for the coaching and the clinical skills. And during this time, I was invited to teach some class at the university, and I looking for to study a master degree, and so I graduated in master degree with administration, focus on innovation, and my working now is about psychology, focus on coaching, focus on the development skills in other person, other professionals, and industries and schools too. And I am a coordinator of MBA in coaching in Brazil.
Okay, very good, very good. Let me just say one thing. It was very descriptive, but I didn't hear any key words. Let me just ask you, where could you have used update my skills in the explanation you were giving? Where could you have used the term updated my skills?
All the time in my life, I looking for update my skills.
Okay.
Studies through the
But
brain.
specifically, you did a master's, right? Specifically, when you did your master's, you could say, well, I updated my skills by pursuing a master's, because I think that was something you did later, right?
Yes.
Okay, right. So that would be a great opportunity to use that key expression. I updated my skills by getting a master's in, and then you can talk about it. We don't say graduate, we say get a master's, get a degree, right? Rather than, we don't use the word graduate too often. Okay, very good. 2 other points. Remember, it's market research, not research market. Market research. I started off in market research, right? And also, I began my career. You were trying to say was beginning, was doing, but you have to use the simple past when it happens in specific moments. Right? I began my career studying psychology and people's behavior. I began, not I was beginning, because I was beginning is a particular moment when it was still happening, not complete yet. All right. So be careful between the simple past and the past continuous. Okay, very good, Paulo. Very good.
Thank you. You helped me a lot to improve my skills, to update my skills in English. Thank you.
Glad I could be of service. Maybe we have time to hear one more. If someone else wants to talk about a change in their careers, remember, try to use no less than two of those keywords on screen. Anyone else want to talk about a career change they've made? Oh, you do, Carlos? Okay.
Maybe. I turn in the microphone and I have to do.
I see you raising your hand.
It's so fast.
See if you can use at least 2 of those keywords in talking about it. And you can keep it short if you want. It doesn't have to be long. Tell us about a career change you've had. Big change, little change, it doesn't matter.
Okay, that's right. In a few time, I have my degree in IT. Okay, and I obtain a new skill with this degree.
It's an opportunity for.
It's an opportunity for develop
or advancement.
Yeah. And now I'm into a personal development, doing some software project. Sorry, and I'm in, but I'm being unemployed now. Is my situation, but I very happy because I learning English and I'm training this skill that
Fantastic.
I have not enough developed.
Okay, but it's personal development, so that's one of our key words. So I'm doing some personal development by working on my language skills. Those are transferable skills. I can use them anywhere. That's another key term you could use.
Yeah.
And getting my degree, in a short time I'll be getting my degree, so that will be an opportunity for advancement. So that's 3 of these 8 that you could use. Actually, we got 16 on the screen there. 3 out of 16. It's not bad. And Yuki, you were starting to talk and I cut you off. What were you going to say?
I don't know.
Okay,
No,
shortly.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
In 1998, because of the economic crisis in Russia, I was made redundant. So I was fired, and then I tried to change my direction. Before I worked as a translator and computer engineer in the corporation. Now I take it an opportunity for advancement. So I entered a university in Moscow. Now I hold master degrees in teaching method of Russian as a foreign language and linguistics. It's very useful for my current job.
Fantastic. And I heard 4 key expressions there. I heard 4 altogether: opportunity for advancement, change of direction. I heard 2 others, but I forgot what they were. But I heard them. I was counting and I forgot. But it sounds very good. Sounds very good. So what I'm trying to say here is, when you learn this vocabulary, I want to give you an opportunity to use it actively in the class, because you know it sounds good. All of this is high-frequency business vocabulary that will be very useful talking about your CV, doing a job interview, or just explaining your background. So it's very good to try out. You can do what we've done in class today as a little homework and send it to me if you want to write it. So you can take this question, part 3, write it up as a short bio or as a short text, send it to me in the Verbling message system, and I'll correct it and send it back to you if there's any mistakes. Okay, so just like we did in class, you can follow up with a short writing, and I'll correct it for you. All right, I'll try to send that to you as a homework later today.
But
John, yes.
Sorry, but I can download the homework that you upload or you look at. I don't know.
You can download it.
I can download.
You can?
I can't.
Yeah. Why not?
What
you
document do you mean?
I have no permission, no.
You don't need permission. Everyone has permission.
Okay.
Everyone has permission.
I can't. No, but I only have CE.
Do this. If there's any problems, send me a message in the Verbling message window, and I'll help you out. Okay?
Okay.
All right. But I'm going to put a link there and some directions about what to do.
Don't worry. I can print it.
Okay.
First link, John pasted in Verbling chat. It isn't correct. So second or third link, John or I pasted. You tried. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah,
You can open it.
And I'll send the link anyway again after class, so you'll have it. I'll send the right link. If there's any problems though, just send me a message and I'll help you out. Okay. Tomorrow, we're going to continue with the second set of vocabulary by reading the text that you'll see in this section, and we're going to try to have a little meeting of our own where we put it into practice. Okay, so that'll be coming up tomorrow, and speaking skills will be an hour earlier at 9 GMT. This class is at 10 GMT tomorrow. Bye for now, everyone. See you soon. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Hope to see you soon.
Have a nice
Bye-bye.
day.